Alright, the first thing I need to do is get onto the proper RNG. To do our red mage manip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's right. And you know what? Let's let you guys name our light warriors. So if you'd like to name our light warriors, first come, first serve. It's a channel point redemption if you'd like to name our characters. Flack, would you like Dad to be a corpse or the leader of the party, since you're first up? Alright. Well, I think having Dad be our first failure is probably perfect. So Blocky will be our hero. And I didn't realize until yesterday that you changed your name, Blocky. Well, I should say shortened your name. Alright. This will be our team. The idea of this challenge run is to beat the game as fast as possible, using a single character class. I must have only one character alive by the end of Garland, and I'm not allowed to run away from battles or use the Bane sword. I am technically allowed to cast spells in combat and stuff if it was necessary for specific classes to make it through fights, but my goal is to not have to do that. For the red mage, it won't be necessary. So let's jump into this. I'm guessing it's going to be about 3 hours. I did one practice run before this to test to make sure that things work. Bane spell is permitted, but the Bane sword usage is not. I'm not going to cast a single spell in combat, but I'm not going to completely rule it out if it ends up being a necessity for the garbage character classes. But my goal is going to be to beat the game with every character class without having to resort to using instant death items and whatnot. I'm trying to mitigate how many times I have to attempt a run for it to succeed. If I'm doing something besides holding A or B, it means I have to do frame-perfect inputs. And in doing so means I'm going to be failing a lot of runs trying to hit those items. Especially because a majority of that kind of stuff is in the end game. So for these challenges, I'm preferring to not have to do all of that, because I don't want to have to spend 3 to 6 months to finish a run. Yes, I just finished a practice run. Now we're doing an actual run. I was doing a routing run. I already had the majority of the route down, but I wanted to test it. Oh no, Dad! Dad is the first casualty. And won't be the last. But yeah, I'll probably end up doing multiple Red Mage runs, depending on the routing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, I'm sure I'll be able to make this one faster with a few things changed around. But at least for now, this is gonna have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And yes, this is the fastest garland I was able to find. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. We have to set up for a lot of different things. We have to ensure that we're not taking too much damage. We have to make sure that we're only going to fight like a single enemy in the next battle. We also have to make sure that in that fight we can easily gain enough HP and strength. Well, for the Red Mage he doesn't gain HP there, but he does gain strength there. Oh, I was like, why did I lose so much time? Because the North Guard got in my way. He just sat there and refused to move. It's fine, I'm not gonna reset for NPCs. That's not a big deal. But yeah, we really need to gain strength. So like every level, we're making sure to do everything we possibly can, at least in the early game, to gain strength. In the late game, there's a few battles we don't gain strength on, which I can actually look into trying to change to see if I can save more time by getting a bit more strength. But I'm pretty sure the last fight that we need strength for is the water elemental battles, and I have just barely enough. And I don't think having a little bit more strength is going to make it faster for the last battles after that, so... It'll at least be like this for now. And I originally thought I needed to sell the short swords, but... Or not short swords, I do have to sell the short sword. The rapier. I don't believe I need to sell the rapier. I don't need that 10 gold. We can just drop them. Mohawk man, beep beep. So far, 2 NPCs have gotten in the way out of the 3 that could possibly be in the way. Off to a fantastic start. The only NPC that didn't get in our way was the Temple of Fiends bat. You know, you'd expect that the bat is the one who wants to be in our way. But he decided not to. He'll do it on our way back into the Temple of Fiends. So the Red Mage mostly follows the same route as the fighter. Of course, my bounces are a little different, but most of the route is the same. With a couple exceptions. The first exception is we cannot bum rush the Marsh Cave. We have to take a slight detour. The Red Mage can't kill things with one swing. 1, 2, 3. He kind of needs to have 2 swings before we can kill enemies in the Marsh Cave. So, we're going to do a little money grinding. We need to farm up cash for money. Give Blocky some gloves. Keep his little hands warm. We sadly need the absorption of those gloves. If I don't have on gloves, we just die because we take too much damage. Every point of absorption is very important. Grover time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, we're doing a Peninsula power grind. We need the money for a silver sword. We need a silver sword. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 1. So these zombie fights are going to be lengthy, like this fight. Imagine trying to fight the wizards like this. We wouldn't be winning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So instead, we're doing a short zombie grind. One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You don't see me do a Peninsula power grind very often. Alright, now let's actually line up for a critical hit. Not there, but here. We line up for this crit by taking all that damage. 7, 1. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 1. Yeah, sorry guys, I can't read all the chat right now. I have to really focus on this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2. There's a lot of rounds, and I have to make sure all the bounces are perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 1. Setting up for the next Zombo battle. I have an extra heal. That's surprising. Six, 7, 1. Yes, without a manip, this grind does not go this simple. Seven, 8, 9, 10, 11, 1. I mean, I can't cast spells to do the manip, Lo. To continue with the manip, I'm only allowed to hold A or B. I'm not allowed to switch enemies or run or use magic or spells, only fight. The fight command is all we are allowed. Or else I cannot hold the manipulation. Originally, I was planning on doing a larger shopping spree right here, but I don't have the money. We are pretty poor, so I make this long walk to purchase a single tent. Alright, then one final fight. One final fight with the short sword. And then we're getting rid of this garbage. Time for an upgrade. A much needed upgrade. Okay, I'll be back. Stupid elf man getting in my way. Hate that guy. Throw a cap on Blocky's head. And let's continue onwards. Now with a silver sword, we are about as good as a fighter now. Except we don't have as much HP, and soon we're not going to have as much absorption. But for the moment, we're about as good as a fighter. But yes, for all of these character class challenges, expect to see some sort of grind before Marsh Cave with all of them. Our red mage still has less max HP. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Compared to the, still has less max HP compared to the fighter. When the fighter is level 5. And we're level 8. Okay, I'm gonna waste the one step I have to spare right there. I should technically probably save it for the way back, in case there's a bat in the way of the wizards. And if I end up accidentally wasting a step there. One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we don't have the steps to go pick up the house. Of course, the bat is in the way. Hopefully he moves out of the way. Beep beep, Mr. Bat. Beep. Without having on the iron armor, these guys hurt. Scum are annoying because we only kill them if we crit. If we don't crit, one hit, one damage. Because they have maximum absorb. And I have to take the last safe tile on the way out, or else we fight an additional encounter. Beep beep bat. So once I use the tent before Astos, we will finally be back on track on the exact step that the fighter is on. To those who haven't noticed yet, I did rearrange the Casual Monday listings for all the games we've played. I have now actually sorted them by their rankings. So it's easier to see with everything grouped together for what's nearby it and whatnot. Play order is still there. I have it in a column by itself, in case people were wondering what order I played the games in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Someone on Discord ended up bringing up the idea of putting in a date for the date that I finished each of the games, which I could make a guess. 1, 2, 3. But that would take a lot of work, and it would be uncertain work. So now we're back on the same steps that the fighter uses. And we're going to stay on the same steps until I go grab the Masamune. So our red mage needs cure 2 and cure because, oh boy, we're going to be taking damage. And our max HP as a red mage is not all that. Believe it or not, red mages actually have acceptable HP growth in the early game. But it's no fighter. Fighter's just a god among men. Every other class is close to the same max HP. Then there's fighter. Then there's black mage. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Black mage forgot how to gain HP, while fighter gains a ton. So theoretically, I could pick up these 2 heals, but then they'd be in my way for the whole game. And I don't think I want to keep the heal potions in my inventory. I'm going to try to make it so I don't buy any heal potions except for the final dungeon. But that'll have to be in a reroute at another point in time. For today, I'm just gonna do the route I have. See how fast we can get through with this red mage. Honestly, he's not that much slower than the fighter currently. Is he slower? Yeah. Doing a short Peninsula power grind will do that. Six, 7, 11, 1. Alright, time to go shopping. Do I pick up the extra garbage? I don't think I need to. I could pick it up, but I think I'm gonna skip it. I think I'll skip it. Alright, shopping. NPC, you better get out of the way. Beep beep. Beep beep. Rude. Beep beep. One, two, 3, 4. In case anybody's wondering, NPC's movement is not something we can manipulate in this kind of a run. NPCs move on a global timer, and if I was going to try to manipulate them, I would have to be frame perfect from powering on the game. And that's just not going to happen. If I was able to be that precise, I wouldn't be doing any of these bounces. Good. Dwarf's out of the way. I should drop the chainmail. I'm not gonna sell that for 40 gold. That's right, we are doing a run. As long as I don't make any mistakes, the run can finish. The problem is, if I do make a mistake and the run dies, I won't have time to do a 3-hour run again after it. Wow. Let's hope I have the steps. Speaking of making a mistake, just speak it into existence. Luckily, I had the steps. I tried to press up into the dock, but I pressed it at a bad frame and it didn't register. I wasn't holding up long enough, because depending on when you're walking and you press certain directional buttons, it doesn't always register. Especially if you're only holding a button down for a short period of time. But it's all good. The run continues. All it did was cost me, like, let's say 2 seconds, maybe 3. Interesting bat movement. This is bat movement I'm not used to, but I guess I've also... It shouldn't matter because I powered the game, but... Oh, it's because I'm spending longer in combat. That's why I'm seeing movement I'm not used to seeing. Beep beep bat. Those bats are somehow hiding. I'll take it. I'll take it. So I know we've had this silver sword for a long time, and it's gonna stay our best weapon. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, for quite a while longer. We're not going to upgrade it until we pick up the ice sword in the volcano. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, we don't have the steps to pick it up in Ice Cave. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can't get a flame sword there. Beep beep bat. Beep beep bat. Beep beep bat. Guess what? Another bat in the way. So again, I say, beep, beep, bat. Six, 7, 10, 11. One. If only I could take that door to the exit, but it doesn't work that way. It would be really neat if we could turn those visual beep beep bat, those little visual bugs into actual usefulness, but it wouldn't matter if the door worked. It was out of bounds anyways. Beep beep bat. Bat. Cool, 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 cool. Beep beep. At least he got out of the hallway quickly. Okay, I need to waste 2 more steps on the way out. Jerk birds. In a Manipt run, cockatrice aren't bad. They're very easy to kill, and they don't deal any damage to you. So they're actually a good enemy to see in a Manipt run. Red Cloud, welcome on in. we are doing our first actual attempt at the solo Red Mage run. The first run I did earlier today was just practice, doing a little bit of extra routing, seeing how many healing items I need to purchase, and all of that. One, two, three. And I have written down exactly how much HP I need to have at all of the different moments I'm healing. So as long as I have the minimum HP, then I'm not going to worry about healing over that. One, two, three, 4, 2. So right now we're like 2 splits behind the fighter. Something like that. So right there I had to waste a cabin, because if I would have skipped an encounter by using the house, I wouldn't have had the mana recovery. Because the house saves before it restores your mana. So I have to waste an additional recovery item to save. Which is annoying, but that's just how it goes. Nice, you think you fixed it? That's great. I mean, I believe you still have a link to my notes, and I'm assuming that was you looking at them earlier, so... That's fine if I need to... You probably didn't make anything worse. I probably just need to increase healing by, like, you know, a little bit. Or something like that. Oh, it's worse? Well, we'll see. I'll do some tweaking with it after the run. And if I can make something usable quickly enough, then maybe I'll give it another go tomorrow. And if it's going to take a lot of time, then I'll just shift on over to any percent runs again for tomorrow. Well, to make everything happen how it did took very precise tweaking of like every fight. So for me to get it to work again, I'll probably have to again go back and tweak every single encounter. A lot of them, I have exact damage I'm allowed to take, and I have exact healing and all sorts of different things like that to make sure that I got the fights that I wanted. Because some fights where I could take more damage were just slower. So I would do fights that I took less damage to end up being faster, and had to make it exact. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. The Red Mage is one of the problems that the other character classes have is I need to have more available RNG choices compared to Fighter. Fighter wants 10 choices for RNG and that's it. If I do that with the other character classes, they're not getting past the Zombies. Like, I have to open it up so they have more RNG. But in doing so, it makes it easier for the run to just pick garbage stuff everywhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have to really tweak everything to make the runs even function. Like, I cannot figure out how I got my black belt time anymore. Because things have changed, and I cannot make those exact stats happen again. Beep beep. Yeah, that makes sense to have a fast round of combat go by. But see, now what I'm really interested about is if this changes anything for the any percent run. If it maybe can find a slightly faster way to get through any of the fights for any percent now. That was the first thing I thought of when this became like a bug. And I was like, ooh, if this gets fixed, maybe it'll magically make the fighter faster. Because that's, you know, the most important thing. I mean, if you want to mess with stuff, you, by all means, you can go for it. The 5 Bane route is the most up-to-date. Not all of the others have all of the changes I want to implement in them. Because I ended up doing the double muck strategy with the fighter, and it actually saves time compared to fighting an ogre after Astos. And I actually have some more ideas to make that even faster. I think I need to check my HP values. But I think if I make the pirate fight worse and gain 2 more HP on the pirate, I can then make the muck battle on the way out of Marsh Cave faster, the second one, not the first one. I can make that faster and save time overall by giving myself 2 more max HP. I think it'll be enough to survive. But I'd have to look at it and mess with some values to make it work. And I mean, best case scenario, after doing all of that stuff, I maybe save half a second at best. But still, any amount of frames saved for that run is exciting. for these runs, it's neat, and it's nice seeing improvements, but it's not a big deal. I mean, my first red mage route compared to the one I'm doing now is 22,000 frames faster. So, it's a lot less impressive saving a couple frames this way. Goody. Very nice bat. Alright, time to heal. We need to hit 191 HP. Well, we don't have a sub 1 hour Lich. Good. I was hoping we were going to sub 1 hour the Lich fight, but nope. Looks like a non-manipped any percent no manip run is faster than this for getting past Lich. You know, because they have a fighter. Stupid fighter. Why are you so good? But yeah, even though this is the Lich fight I don't want to be doing anymore. It'll work for now. 1, 2, 3, 4. And Lich is down. Looks like we should break that sub 3 pretty easily. I'm not sure why my notes say to cure there. I don't have to cure before that tiger battle. In a previous run I had to make an extra menu there apparently, and I forgot to remove it from the notes. Man, I did it again. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I need to buy Cure 3 before using the inn. Not a big deal. If I looked at my notes and I read the words on the notes, I would know what to do there. But I don't read words, I only look at numbers. But yeah, these peed fights are painful. 1, 2, 3. The peeds are difficult to kill. Okay, I have a lot of stuff to do here. 1, we need to use the inn. I know we just used the inn. Use the inn again. For safety, I'm buying a 3rd heal. I don't think I need to. But I'm gonna buy a 3rd heal for safety. What? I've never had this NPC get in my way. Wow. Hey nerdy, welcome on in. I guess I interrupted her in the perfect part of her movement for her to somehow get in my way. That takes talent. A Reflex, welcome in as well. Yep, I am doing well today. Did not have a great night of sleep, but that is normal for me. I don't like this is a 3-round encounter. I probably need to try to figure out a way to make this better. Beat up the fishies. All right. Time for the best place in the game, the Earth Cave. Everyone's favorite dungeon. Nobody's ever died here before. I'm sure nobody has horror stories of the Ice Cave. Everyone's like, oh man, that place was great. Such lucrative enemy encounters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Such easy XP. Greatest place on the planet. It's not like this is a place where, I don't know, they start throwing enemies at you that instantly kill your characters and AoE paralyze the party and have random unrunnable battles. 1, 2, 3. Have enemies with a high ambush rate that their first spell is instant death. Nah. Nothing like that would happen. Groups of 9 undead that paralyze your entire party and wipe a party from full HP. That wouldn't ever happen. Not in the Nice Cave. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Well, sadly, we're not going to be touching that cloth armor. We just don't have the steps. That's the only reason why we're not going to get it. Just because we don't have the steps. Yep, that's the only reason. If only our red mage had a bit more experience. Okay, he would need a lot more experience to have an extra swing with the silver sword. There's no way that's gonna happen. The fighter has to gain extra XP to be level 14 for this place. The red mage has no chance of being high enough level. I should probably heal one of these times, huh? Why didn't I update my notes? I didn't update my notes here. I don't know why. I can't do it right now. My notes say to heal already. But I don't need to heal. I have plenty of HP. Plenty. I won't even get close to dying. Yeah, if I would have healed earlier, I would have wasted 6 HP of my healing on those ice tiles. Why do that? Looks like 2 heals would have been enough. But I think 3 heals is just the safer bet, in case I roll really low on my heal spells. I think 3 heals is probably the best. I could probably, when I work on the route next time, I'll try to look into it better. See if I can find more time save for that. By not having to buy the heals at all. Honestly, that heal's a good thing. I just realized I don't think I wrote down in my notes that I need to buy more heals for the Volcano. So I'll buy a couple extra heals. Right, I don't think I updated that in the notes. In fact, I know it's not. I can see it's not there. I must have got sidetracked at some point. How many heals do I need to buy here? Okay, I need to buy more heals. I should have bought all of those in the previous trip. Alright, now we are entering the waterfall. Not the waterfall, volcano. So, flashing light warning. I don't know why I always happen to just call it the waterfall, but I do. Damage tiles don't increase your threat, so I go out of my way to walk on as many of them as I can. Oh yeah, when I was younger I used to avoid all the damaged tiles also. But then I learned better. But yeah, you think that you're getting a good deal by trying to avoid the tiles. But then you just get into more random encounters. One, two, three, four. One, two, three, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11. None of my fights are close. I don't know what anybody's thinking. We're never low HP. Hey, Rient Demon, welcome on in. This is our first actual attempt at getting through the Red Mage run. No, it was only one more than necessary. If I had 2 less HP, I would be dead. One less HP is okay. I'm going to assume that's plenty of cash. I'm picking up everything to be safe. It's possible that I don't need the ice shield. It's possible I probably don't need the dragon sword. I definitely don't need the dragon sword. Alright, I can get 4,800 less bucks. That means I don't have to grab the chests in Dwarf Cave, the money chests. I can get less caves in the Cardia Isles. I don't need the Dragon Sword. I do need the Ice Shield, though. I can press down to cabin right now. That doesn't last long. So technically I didn't need to buy those extra heals, but I was getting high rolls in the Volcano, and I had good rolls in the Ice Cave. I do need to double check and find out what minimum healing looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, enjoy your lurk. I'm guessing we have another hour to an hour and 20 minutes left, something like that. You know, the Sea Shrine really is one of the best tunes in the whole game. It really is. Oops. Wasted a step. I wasn't in the doorway. That's because when I do my fighter runs, I just want to be able to hold one direction instead of having to hit multiple in a short period of time when I can't see what I'm doing. Trying to look at my hit points on the Red Mage run is always so weird. I just need to be like, yes, I have enough HP, not... That's not how much I have. Shark. Look at those teefies. He's gonna growl at me. He's, the puppy of the sea, right? Six, 7, 8. Six. Alright, as much as this cap was helpful, it's time for a replacement cap. Once we're done fighting the big eye. No, the big eye is not necessary to be here. But from everything that I've tried, it's always been faster to have the big eye experience. I used to need to do that to gain strength here, but we don't gain strength there now. Huh. 299 HP, huh? That'll do. That'll do. We're not gonna heal. before Kraken. We'll be fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But yes, our red mage needs a proper hat on. That sure is pretty large for a ribbon, but you know, we'll work with it. One more random encounter. Then we've got the Kraken. Do we have enough HP to survive Kraken? We'll say sure. It's not like I would let Kraken hit me anyways, right? Kraken hits way too hard for this red mage to take a hit. So I'm sure we won't see that, right? Ow. Completely lucky, right? Not calculated at all. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hell dog, welcome on in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The 10 bounces at the end of the fight sucks, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You do what you gotta do to survive. Yes, Kraken has to use ink almost every round or we die. He hits way too hard, beep beep. Our poor red mage can't really take a beating from him. You saw us get hit one time in round 1, it's like, nope, that's all I can do. What would I get out of doing waterfall first? I can't equip the defense sword. I already have a ribbon. My step route fights very specific encounters in a very specific order. And I can't take one step the wrong direction. My entire run is revolved around fighting enemies in a specific order. If I wanted to do Waterfall first, I would have to route through Waterfall first, which would include me running through the waterfall with silver armor on, compared to an opal bracelet, which doesn't sound fun. I could theoretically just never be hit by anything, and it's okay. But the opal bracelet does a lot for us. And if I'm going to change the steps, it's probably going to take me months to find a route that's actually working. I can't just willy-nilly change the steps. With everything that's been put into the current route, changing the steps is the last thing I can do. Before I'd have to do an entire new reroute. Good robot. Good robot. And an extra level on the Red Mage gives him what? 5 more max HP? 0 more swings? That doesn't really do us any good. The Red Mage's final strong level up is at 17. When do we hit level 17? On carry. 1 battle before the Sea Shrine. An extra 5 HP might make getting through the Sea Shrine a little better. You know, I'd have 5 more HP of play somewhere, but I could just heal 5 more hit points. Like, that's not gonna change anything. If I'm max HP on Kraken, nothing changes. My accuracy being higher doesn't change anything. Don't you do it, bat. Beep beep. But in future runs where I do a complete reroute, I could change the way I do it. In fact, in my Red Wizard run, I do Waterfall first. But my Red Wizard run is far from optimized right now. That will probably take me multiple weeks, if not longer, to have that ready. Nope. The Red Wizard, on the other hand, will be picking up the Defense Sword, because it will be a massive help in the Sea Shrine. Yeah, theoretically I could do that, but the thing is about the steps on the NES version is I can't change them. I must take the same exact steps for my route, or we fight different enemies, which changes my RNG, which changes my level up. Everything changes, and then the whole route has to be scrapped and done from scratch. and it already takes a very long time to make these routes, which is why I try to model them all after the fighter's run, then make slight adjustments based on, you know, the class needs. I believe the Red Wizard will be faster, yes. Being able to warp out of the Sea Shrine, out of the waterfall, being able to warp after grabbing the Masamune. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's skipping a lot of encounters, just with warp alone. And also the fact that you get to fight a lot of enemies with the defense sword, compared to struggling with the ice sword for so long. And you also don't have to go out of your way to grab the sun sword anymore, which is even less encounters needed to fight. Now my current Red Wizard route, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. My current Red Wizard route is actually slower than this. But when I first made both the Red Mage and the Red Wizard route, the Red Wizard route was way faster. But the thing is that I've spent all weekend optimizing what I already had with the Red Mage's run to make it better. Slowly tweaking every single battle to try to make it better. Beep beep. Beep beep. And I haven't done that with the Red Wizard yet. I'll get to it. Alright, not the worst toga party. Oh, I didn't even think about warping out of the toga party to save time. That's another warp that can help. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I fight 2 zombies there to set up for the next encounter inside the dungeon. I do use the Peninsula of Power in this run and only in, like, the weaker character classes. Fighter wouldn't touch the Peninsula of Power, it's a waste of time. But for the Red Mage, I do kill 3 zombies at the beginning of the game to afford the Silver Sword. Don't take that. Depending on which sort of challenge run you're trying to do, the Peninsula of Power can be useful, yes. In any sort of standard speedrunning, the Peninsula of Power is a complete waste of time. any normal run, it's such a waste of time. But in challenge runs, it can be useful to get the weaker character classes high enough level to be able to make it through the Marsh Cave. Not even without Manip, you still don't touch the Peninsula of Power in any speedrun. It's a waste of time. The amount of setup you have to do to get ready for a Peninsula of Power grind takes you so long that there's no benefit for doing that over just running through the game. That's not enough HP, what am I doing? But yes, Peninsula of Power is only useful in certain challenge runs. In any run that's a normal run, you're going to have a fighter on the team. You know who doesn't need experience to be useful? The fighter. Which means you don't have to waste time doing the Peninsula of Power grind. Because by the time I actually tested this out before in a speedrun, where I made a team comp specifically for doing the Peninsula of Power to just try to beat Lich faster. And I gained extra levels on the Peninsula of Power, even bringing along a white mage to have low-level harms to just be able to get through the fight. And it still cost me like 40 minutes or something. And I died to Lich anyways, because I didn't sit there long enough to ensure victory. The fighter is actually an extremely cheap character class to outfit. Lots of people think that you need tons of money to outfit the fighter, but most of the fighter's equipment you find in treasure chests. You don't actually need to spend money on your fighter at all. Like, you buy him chainmail at the beginning of the game, then if you want to be cheap, you don't have to buy him anything else. You don't even technically have to buy him a pro ring. Are you missing out on the silver sword if you don't purchase that for him? Sure. But you don't need that. You know who can also use the silver sword? The red mage. You know who also doesn't need it? The red mage. The fighter does enough damage with other weapons. He doesn't need the silver sword. In your casual playthrough, when you're trying to make your characters as strong as possible, as early as possible, then sure, you could do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. But you don't need a silver sword for your fighter to be your best damage dealer. You can give him a dragon sword or a coral sword that you pick up for free, or a not light axe, sorry. You could give him the great axe even, and he can still deal good damage. You don't have to spend any money on him. Because what you should be spending money on is spells. buying spells is the most important thing you can do when playing this game. And then using those spells wisely. That is what's important. Because those spells will give you way more bang for your buck than slightly upgrading the fighter's weapon. Like, think of the difference of usefulness of a fast spell or the Silver Sword's slight damage increase. Like, it's not even close. But the Silver Sword you get for every battle, while spells are limited. This is true. Except what matters is the difficult battles. What gets you through the difficult fights, like the bosses? Those important spells. Like, in speedruns, we buy in the any percent no manip speedrun, I buy one weapon for a fighter, and it's an iron staff. Technically, you don't even need to buy it. And in fact, in runs when I can't afford it, I just don't buy it. Oh, we're not close to a sub 2 red mage. That's not happening. We still have the lengthiest dungeon in the game left. Not only is it the longest dungeon, we also are not prepared for that dungeon. We have a Sun Sword as our best damage on a red mage who doesn't have fast. We're not dealing any damage, as you can see now. 1, 2. Like, look at our damage output against Tiamat 1. We just healed the full HP, by the way. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Destroyed Towns was a challenge run that I came up with, where you could only shop at a town a single time. 1, 2, 3. Then as you left, it was considered to be destroyed, and you can never go back. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you had to really manage your supplies well. You had limited in trips, limited times to buy items, all of that. Alright, I need to count. 10. $20. Alright, final dungeon time. Don't do it, Bat. Thank you. Alright, no more NPCs can possibly get in my way. Frosties kind of hurt. Okay, let me take that back. Everything in this dungeon kind of hurts. That's why I had to buy 30 healing potions. I could get past the Frosties taking 0 damage. Now the problem is, if I do that, I would be bouncing like 40 times. And that's pretty darn slow. I would rather just take a little bit of damage and have to heal it up, instead of bouncing 40, 50, 60 times in every single battle. I'm pretty sure that lore-wise, didn't Astos turn those past Light Warriors into bats, not Garland? I think that's the official lore. Something like that. Every bounce makes some, it delays the RNG. So, for instance, if I was just holding A down on a fight, I would end up dying. But to get to get more favorable RNG, I might want to wait a little while and increase my RNG a bit. So this next round I'm going to do 2 short bounces. 1, 2. That increases my RNG value by 2 points to find RNG I want. And this one, 1, 2 long bounces. That increases my delay by 6. Then here we just hold A. So I'm currently on RNG value 166. And everything that happens in battle eats up RNG. Everything that happens. I will do 1 delay there, and it's pretty much just me finding the quickest way to make attacks that deal something acceptable. Could I technically one-shot this Furwolf on round 1? Yes, or for Giant, I could. But it would take a while. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. So the key is trying to find the middle ground on the least bounces possible, while also getting, while not dying, and fighting the least amount of enemies total. So it's a fine line, and every single round you do differently changes the outcome of everything else in the rest of the run. So I route this out ahead of time. It takes me weeks to months to make a route complete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I first started designing this route in what, December? It's April now? 1, 2, 3, 1. And then every day when I'm done streaming or done working, I start working on the routes. And I've just been rerouting pretty much non-stop every day since then. Trying to find ways to get through the game faster by fighting extra enemies here or whatnot. Just making slow adjustments over time, just trying to improve everything. And we're not at the solo Red Mage's final form yet. I will continue to be routing all of these different runs. Sometimes I'll give one a break, because maybe it'll give me ideas for doing a different one. Like, doing the Red Mage stuff has given me some ideas for going back to the any% run, to possibly trying to save some more time there. Just looking at the game differently can just change how I get stuff done. Because how the run evolves is all up to me and the changes that I make. Now, I could technically change my steps, which is a lot of the suggestions that I get to go to a different dungeon before another, or pick up this piece of equipment instead, or 1, 2, 3, 1. Pick up this money instead of that money. But that stuff's not easy to implement in, because if I change the steps, then that ruins everything. The biggest thing about changing steps is, if I start changing the steps at all, I go back to routing on only steps. That also means I can't do runs anymore, because I have multiple routes in my head. So if I start actually doing full rerouting like that, it means I can't do any more runs. 1, 2, 3, 1. Until I figure out all of the new stuff. Which is why I avoid doing that, so I can continue doing runs while doing the routing. Back when I first started doing the routing for this on stream, for what, like 2 weeks straight or something. All I was doing was routing for like 2 weeks straight on stream. I was doing routing offline before that as well. Then once I figured out the route, that's when I started, like when I had the steps set in stone, then I started just doing actual attempts over and over and over and over again. Because I need to have the route completely memorized. Because I'm not allowed to take a single step in the wrong direction. If I'm off by 1 step in this dungeon, I fight 1 more battle on the Sea Shrine floor, instead of fighting it on the next floor, and that kills the run, because I fight a group of 9 enemies instead of a group of 2 enemies. Golden Girl, welcome on in. We're almost done with the run. We are currently comparing up against my practice run that I did, just testing out the route, making sure that the notes worked. And I'm glad I did that, because there was a lot of things I did need to make changes to. They were mostly minor changes, but I still needed to make them. Or else, it would have killed the run in a live setting, and I'd have to start all over again. So luckily I had the hindsight to make sure that I did a practice run first. And not just jump into it. Seven, 8, 9, 10, 11, 1, 2. Alright, heal up some more. I need to have 308 HP. That's not 308. I was like, this heal will certainly be enough, and it wasn't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. These water elemental fights seem kind of bad because I'm doing a lot of bouncing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But they are so much incredibly faster than they used to be. These 2 back-to-back water elemental fights used to have around 100 plus total long bounces each. Or total, sorry, not each. The only way I was able to actually get rid of that was by forcing so much strength gain. To just barely one-shot them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2. Since they have 300 exact HP, and we were hitting them for 306 3 separate times, without that one last point of strength I gained on carry 2, we don't kill those water elementals. That was habit to go down to a mage that I just kept doing over and over again. I'm used to my mages being in Slot 3. Look at this fat damage. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's right, we just hit Kraken for 9. That's not going to kill him anytime soon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. But sometimes you have to have garbage damage rounds to move the RNG along. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Because we can't have Kraken to melee us. We'll die from full. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. But yeah, if I was one step off, just a single step, this next encounter would be on this floor, instead of one step right here. And that kills the run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright. It's about time that we get rid of this useless sun sword. So we're gonna make the long walk over to grab the Mass Moon. And you guys see how little damage we're doing right now? On average, 150 to 200 damage. That's like our average damage range, right? Watch how much our damage jumps when we get our next weapon. Like low 200s, 150, that's our norm. All classes outside of Fighter and Black Belt will use the Mass Moon. Black Belt will be punching Chaos. The Light Warriors are all named from chat, and this is Blocky. 1, 2, 3. Named after one of our chatters, Blocky. He is the hero we needed. Hey Dead Bread, welcome on in. No more magic. Alright, so we were doing low 200s, the 150-ish before. Now we do a teeny tiny bit more damage. Just a little more damage. And yeah, I try to throw in door glitches whenever I can. They don't do anything, they're just silly to see. So yeah, we're doing a teeny tiny bit more damage now. Which is important, because if we tried to kill Chaos with the Sun Sword, we couldn't do it if we hacked our red mage's HP to be 999, we would still lose. Now, would we be able to beat Chaos with a Sun Sword at level 50? Yeah, probably. We would have enough swings by then, and enough strength base that we could probably do it. But we're not leveling up that high a level. There is a wrong warp type deal in FF1, yes, in the Japanese version. It is a meme speedrun category, in my opinion. The entire speedrun is, you name your characters something very specific as fast as you can, then you walk up and down stairs 30 times, the game's over. It's done under 2 minutes, you don't fight a single battle. You don't take a single step on a tile that even increases your step count. Sadly, it is technically the most popular ran FF1 category. There's our final level for Blocky. We don't even heal the full. We don't need the HP. Mass Moon is good enough. Technically, you could do the stair stuff on the NA version, but it doesn't actually work. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because you don't have access to the same characters that the Japanese version does. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. So you can't make anything useful happen on the NA version. And that's the game. 2 hours, 27 minutes. Not bad for a first attempt at that. That is 11 minutes faster than the no manip world record with a red mage. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. That is an acceptable first attempt.